Hello everyone, my name is Lydia. Okay, maybe the lighting's a little bit better this way, but why does your cat hate you? Why does your cat hate you so much? Well, I used to foster cats, and I foster failed a couple of times. At one point I had 6 cats that were my own, or well, my family's own cats. And so I have some experience with cats. And I will tell you this, none of them hated us. None of them. And they all came to their names, and they all absolutely loved to be touched and hugged and for the most part picked up. Some of them were a little bit finicky when being picked up. But overall, they were very friendly. I've never had a cat hiss at me that wasn't like a fearful new addition to the home. But never had fosters hiss or try to scratch me, nothing like that. And why is that? Why is it that I have this experience and I fostered many cats and kittens and had experiences with them, and then I even volunteered at the shelter and cleaned out some cages there of the cats while the cats were still living in those crates, and letting them run around the room and all of that. So the older cats, younger cats, all sorts of different cats I've worked with. And why were they so kind to us? Why did none of them hate me, you may ask? And why does your cat hate you? Well, I have a little speculation that a lot of people treat their cats like dogs in a way. Where they're just petting them anytime they want to, petting them unwanted. I think humans overall are very self-serving when it comes to animals. Even though we love them and we consider them family, it's very, what's in it for me? Like, I want to pet you right now, so I'm just going to go over there and pet you. When in reality, cats are quite dignified. Cats like mutual respect. And I think that's why, in terms of dogs, I love the more cat-like dogs in personality. But I love that they love mutual respect. I respect that they like mutual respect, and I try my best to honor that. And my whole family did that. And I think that's why, none of my family members got scratched or hissed at, and my cats loved all of my family members and treated them very well. And yeah, my idea when handling with cats, or my sort of general energy when regarding cats, is that we gotta treat them like they're equals. Got to go over to them and ask them first before touching them or picking them up, making sure that they're at their utmost comfort. And, maybe extend your hand out a little bit. Let them initiate the pet every single time. It can be a little rough because, sometimes you really want to pet your cat and they're just not into it. And I totally get the want to do that. I totally understand that. It takes a lot of resistance, a lot of restraint on our parts as pet owners in general, because I do believe we should be doing this with our dogs as well, especially now that the studies have come out about how touching a dog when they do not want to be touched actually lowers their cortisol levels. And I can't even imagine what it's like for cats. I'm sure it's either on par or maybe even more severe. But yeah, ask your cat always if they want to be petted, and be your cat's advocate. If somebody comes over to your house and they just go over and they start scooping up your cat and they start petting them kind of roughly, just tell them, hey, my cat doesn't really like to be touched that way. Maybe try asking him, maybe try asking my cat how they want to be petted, by putting your hand out and let them initiate, and they will guide you. And also with that is not petting your cats too rough. They are dignified, regal creatures. And they don't like to be roughed up like a dog, generally. Maybe there's some cats that like a little bit of a stronger hand when you're petting them, or a very deep scratch. But there's a difference between a very deep, intentional scratch and just roughing your cat up a little bit. And even if your cat, does seem to enjoy being roughed up, maybe a little bit of like rough playing even, I would be willing to bet that does make your cat associate you with that type of energy. And so you might be wondering, oh, well, my cat seems to enjoy it over here, and then when I try to pet him nicely, he goes to scratch me, and he thinks it's like a playtime thing, because he associates you with play. He associates you with, we are like kittens together, and I only play with you like a kitten. I don't really respect you in the way that I should be respecting you. Yeah, and I have just observed that from my friends growing up, how they would play with their cats. A lot of the times when they would approach them, it would be in this sort of playful manner. I'm gonna rub your belly anyway, even though it kind of annoys you, and like, it's real cute when they're kittens, and they are very receptive. No, that's the wrong word. They're receptive to it. But then they start to associate you with that. And, just seeing my friends have that experience growing up, where then every time they would try to approach their cat was not into it, or thought, okay, we're playing now. Great. Every time you approach, it's a game. We're playing. I even think just treating them sort of as a baby or as a child, punishing them. Never punish a cat. Never actually physically punish a cat by hitting their head or grabbing their paws or yelling at them. There's no need. There is no need. In a cat's mind, they're not going to look at you. They're going to see you as somebody who has lost complete control. That's how they're going to see you. They're not going to understand that they do not want me to do X, Y, Z. They're going to see you as a person who will take advantage of their bodily autonomy. And so I would stay away from doing that. If your cat has done something bad, use your mental capacity to figure out how to prevent your cat from doing that. Don't yell at them. Don't hit them. And I don't even mean like a hard hit. I mean, even a pat on their head or on their butt or whatever you're doing. Don't use touch as a punishment ever with a cat, because they will think that, okay, touch is a punishment, and touch could be a punishment. Even if your approach is a little bit different with them when you're in a good mood, touch is a punishment, and they associate you with negative touch. And you don't want that. So that's some of my advice. Don't be forceful with them in any sense of the word. Know your cat. If they don't like to be pet roughly, but your other cat likes a little bit of a deeper scratch, understand that. Respect that. Don't try to be self-serving when it comes to you and your animals. Really, we should be using these rules for dogs as well, but we, as a society, I think dogs are a little bit more forgiving, but cats, less so. And it does manifest. We do see that these signs appear with cats when we mistreat them. Gentle, cautious. Even if your cat is a very playful cat, I think your general energy when approaching them should be gentle and cautious. Even if you're going to be playing with them or whatever it may be. You can't really, or you shouldn't really enter their space with a high moving, big, loud energy. Because they do absorb that, and you might see a repetitive pattern in the future where when you are approaching your cat, they have this ramped up energy, or aren't behaving in the ways that you would like them to behave, because they've associated your energy over here when, you know, maybe you weren't realizing it. Yeah, I think these are sort of my basic thoughts about why your cat might hate you. Maybe. Don't declaw your cat. That's another thing. Just thought I'd put that out there. Declawing is actually pretty harmful. Look into it. It's not what you think it is. It's way worse. And yeah, there's that. But yeah, be very careful. A lot of cats don't like their paws to be touched. I'll add that in there too. They don't like they don't look like certain areas of their body to be touched, and you got to know that. That's the kind of the beautiful thing about owning a cat, is you get to discover how this cat likes to be pet and enter into that world. How does this cat like to interact with humans? Let me enter that. Or you can try to build up a different relationship with your cat, but it takes time. You can't be selfish with cats. You just can't. And I think with that, that's it. Have a good day, everybody.